Hey everybody, guess what? We are live. We're back again. I told you Melinda Doolittle was coming, and here she is. We're here to talk all about American Idol. Melinda, how's it going this morning?
Oh, it's going well. I'm kind of excited to be able to talk Idol from my own house and chill
Yeah.
out and and hang out. I've got my David Archuleta mug right now, and I'm a
Oh,
happy
I just have a
camper.
Nashville mug, so nothing
Nice.
exciting.
It says Christmas every day, and
Oh,
it's a song that I sang with him on his Christmas record, but it also is how I've been living life. My tree is still up.
now
I
I
just
know. Okay, let's talk about that. I know you usually keep it up longer, but it's still up like
Oh
right now.
yeah. Well, first of all, the one downstairs, I said the one downstairs because there are multiple ones now, but the one
Okay.
downstairs has been up since October of 2015. So it, that
Okay.
that's just a thing. But then 2020 hit and it was a little crazy.
Yeah.
And I got another one and it is now upstairs in my bedroom.
Oh.
And every morning I just hit a little switch and that tree comes on and everything's better.
Nice. Now, do you have the kind that spins, that turns, or anything
It does not
fancy?
spin, and
Okay, okay.
people keep telling me like you should redecorate it for the seasons and things like that. And I'm like, but it needs to be a Christmas tree. Like I need it to be a Christmas tree, so that's what it stays all year. But it makes me happy.
I love that. For people who are just joining us who may not know, I don't know how they don't know, but Melinda was on American Idol season 6, right?
Yes.
But a different network at that time, and you were with Simon Cowell. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
You
I'm
survived.
I survived, and he actually was my favorite judge. I'm still
Oh,
like partial to the original three. There was something so special about them as judges, and not having all artists, but having like a businessman who understood the money behind it and a producer who understood what would happen when you got in the studio,
right.
and an artist who understood like what life was like for you in that place. So I miss having them, but I'm getting used to these judges now.
Yeah, let's talk about that. That to me, when they announced Luke Bryan, Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, I love all three of them. Lionel Richie, especially, I didn't expect him to come out and do this,
Yes.
but it's been so interesting to see them and their dynamic.
Listen, I one of the reasons that I am partial to American Idol over The Voice even is because they had, somebody that from all facets of the business. And so I prefer that. They're all individually great artists, great people. I Some of their critiques I agree with. Sometimes I'm like, I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah,
But I miss having kind of a well-rounded panel. So I do miss that a bit. Katie in her momminess now
I
um,
know.
is is a little different and a little more nurturing and a little like trying to give more constructive criticism and actionable critiques. So I do like that. But I'm still getting used to it.
I did like, did you see last night when Katy Perry, I can't remember, I have it written down. Which contestant was it? She said, I haven't shaved my legs, but she made the hair on my legs stand
Oh,
up.
yes, that was hilarious. And I
And
was
she
like,
actually showed it. She let them show that she hasn't shaved her legs.
that is the thing that I love about Katie. Like she'll say whatever and she'll
Yeah.
back it up. Like she doesn't care. And I
Yeah.
do love that. So, because a lot of artists are trying to, kind of save
Yeah.
their
Image.
reputation or whatever
Yeah.
that image is. And she's just like, listen, I didn't shave. It is what it is. And I love that.
It's so funny. Well, we have two locals on the show this season. So exciting. They've made it so far to the top 24. We did have some other ones on the show. Emmy Sunshine. Did you know Emmy Sunshine?
I did not know Emmy. And, but from every video I've seen of hers prior to being on American Idol, I expected her to go pretty far, you
Me
know?
too. I was very disappointed.
I will say this. I I feel like Idol can bring the best out of you and also the worst because it's like you're in a constant state of panic every time you step on that stage. And unless you've picked a song that you can kind of navigate around the panic with, it's very difficult to give your very best in in front of that type of audience where you know you're being judged constantly. Like it's just difficult. And I feel like maybe it got to her when I was watching one of her performances during Hollywood Week. I was like, it just probably got to her.
Yeah. Yeah. But she's such a great artist. You
She's
guys
so
should.
good.
She's amazing. You guys go follow her. And did you see she put a social post out after she was eliminated saying, "I'm so sorry if I disappointed anybody." And I was like, no.
No, it literally, like, I was telling my friends, they were asking me about the experience, and I was like, it kind of sets you up to fail. So like I feel like the success that I had out of that show was like almost a fluke, because there were so many times where I was just like, I just hope this works. I have no idea if this will work, but I hope it does. So there's like, it's not on her. She's extremely talented, a great artist, and she will do just fine.
Oh yeah, totally agree. I love, but our locals that are still in the top 24, Cassandra Coleman, she's from Columbia. She actually got to perform last night. Okay, I feel like, did you notice last night she kind of changed her hair? I feel like the outfit changed a little. Did you notice that?
She's figuring it out. She's like kind of coming into her own. They've had a minute since Hollywood. So she's had some time to like come to grips with the fact that like, okay, I'm doing this for real. Like, this is real. What do I want to present? And I love her. I mean, I absolutely love her. Like just her tone, her vibe, her choices. She's already such an artist that I don't know what it is. I just absolutely love her. And every time I see Columbia, Tennessee on there, I'm like, yes, come on, girl. So.
And so, okay, let me ask you this. She performed with Ryan Tedder. She performed a song that she'd already previously performed, Apologize. So at first I was thinking, oh, this is probably not a good idea. Like, you're going to have like, oh, I don't know. But it turned out great.
It was wonderful. I thought that also, but I know just kind of from experience, sometimes you have no control over what song you're about to perform, especially if someone else is involved.
Yeah.
So it's most likely that the producers were like, she sang a Ryan Tedder song. We're having Ryan Tedder on. Let's do that song, because it would be like full circle, even though it's been for us just a few weeks.
Right.
Like it's been some months for her. So I'm assuming that the producers were like, this will be a moment, because she obviously loves them enough to have auditioned with their song. Right. So that's what I think happened. And she had to make the best of it. And she made the best of it. It was amazing. I have thoughts about Ryan Tedder, like at the end of each of his duets, like doing the absolute most while the contestants sitting there. I'm like, help them shine, sir.
Yeah.
Like give them that place. But she held her own so well. So I love her.
Yeah. So the whole celebrity duets, I mean, that has to be a fine balance, because these are professionals, right? And these are like contestants who aren't, there's a reason why they're on American Idol. So I felt like a couple of times they were kind of out singing or outperforming. It felt like.
Yes. And which is to be expected, because they've been doing this for years.
Right. And they may not have done that intentionally. That's just what they do. That comes natural.
Right. It's possibly not intentional, just because this has just been their life. So they're obviously more comfortable. They're not dealing with the nerves that these artists are dealing with. However, I feel like it's early, number one, to have celebrity duets. Like, these contestants literally haven't even stepped on the American Idol stage. Like this is their first time stepping on the actual stage. And for their first time to also include a celebrity duet, like you're just still like, who am I right now?
Yeah.
And then you've got to sing with like somebody that you've looked up to for years and that's been doing this forever. That's a lot to ask right off the bat.
Yeah.
So I didn't have like really high expectations for the contestants actually, because I knew like they're just trying to make it, like they're trying to figure things out this week. And now they're singing with like Catherine McPhee and Joss Stone. Like
Right.
like I'm gonna sing Brian McKnight's song with him. Like
Yeah.
that's a lot.
That's a lot of pressure. I would think even as a seasoned performer, that would be a lot of pressure to sing with Brian McKnight's song. One of his most famous songs, actually, right?
Exactly. I would have cried. Like now, this time, 15 years past the date, I would have still cried. Like, what are you asking me to do? Like, that's a lot of pressure. And to begin with that, I think it brings something out of the contestants. It shows them kind of what they could be on stage, you know, so that's helpful, but it's a lot to deal with on your first week. So
man, yeah, I could feel that. I could feel that watching that on some of these.
I really, my heart goes out to them. And then I think for the most part, the artists were trying to help them shine, especially like Joss Stone and Ben Rector. Like,
yes,
they really worked hard to help them shine. They still gave it their all, but made sure there was space for the contestant. So I loved that. And in my head, and Jimmy Allen too, like him being from here, he's a friend of mine. And I loved watching him kind of full circle from having auditioned for American Idol and then to be on there as a mentor. I loved that. Ryan Tedder really was the only one where I was like, you're just trying to.
And we got it. You know, you can sing. You got it.
Right.
You're great.
Okay. You didn't have to do that huge run right at the end, like where they had no space to do anything else. Like it was.
I was like, wow, okay. I thought she was gonna be able to come in, and I was like, oh no,
it's over. Both times. I'm gonna
yeah. Okay, Ryan, we still like you, but hey.
I love him. Like it was One Republic was one of the best concerts I've ever seen. I just that him doing that both times, I was like, I think that's on purpose.
First time we'll give it to you. The second time we're not giving it to you. No. Mm-mm. Oh man, yeah. Ben Rector, also Nashville artist, amazing. With Wyatt, it was Wyatt, right?
Yes. With Wyatt and Graham DeFranco.
Yes.
Both times. I love Ben Rector, first of all. And partially it's because he tours with another Nashville artist, Cody Fry, who is hands down my favorite. I listen to him nonstop. So I actually learned about Ben through Cody. And Cody's not the star, Ben is, you know. But his voice, his songs were perfect. He helped them shine. He helped Graham like figure out his range on the song and how to hit it. He brought the best out of his contestants, and I loved it.
Yes, and I was surprising because I don't really know Ben's personality very well. Like we've seen him perform, but you don't really get to see. And as I've seen him a little bit on social media, so I wasn't expecting him to be so engaging with his contestants and mentoring in that way. And so when those performances came out, I was like, wow, he did an awesome job.
I loved him. He and Joss Stone, I think, were my favorite as far as like actually mentoring. And then Jimmy was really cool about like connecting with what they were experiencing right then in that moment. And I loved that too.
Yes, and he came out first with Alanis on the Shallow, and that's the song that he recorded with, I think it was Abby Anderson.
Yes. It was so good. I love Alanis. I love her. But their voices together, like that chorus, I was like, oh, this is beautiful. What a way to start the night. And so I was impressed because she's so young.
Yeah.
She's so young. And to be able to hold her own on a duet with somebody famous right off the bat, like that says a lot about her. So
yeah. We've got another local contestant, Hunter Metz, who we didn't get to see last night. He says he put on social media he's going to be performing tonight. We don't know what he's performing yet or who his celebrity guest. But let's talk about him because I'm going to be honest. I interviewed him before his first audition aired, and I got to
Okay.
talk to him because he's local. He's from Franklin, graduated from Centennial High School.
Yes.
That's all exciting. But I didn't, when his first audition, I didn't expect for him to sound the way that he did. And I was kind of like, oh man, I really hope you get a little bit further. But here he is, top 24. I mean, who knew?
That the first audition, obviously my ears perked up because I heard Franklin. And so I was like, Franklin boy, let's hear what he's doing. And I liked it. Like he has a really beautiful voice. So I liked the audition, but I wasn't like, let's go. Like I wasn't there quite yet. With him, and it possibly is because of what they showed, like how they edit things. Because obviously the judges saw maybe even something we didn't see in that moment. But every time I've seen him perform after, I've been like, all right, sir.
I know.
And then that showstopper performance.
That was incredible.
I take notes on the performance because I discuss it with a group every Wednesday on Zoom. And so I'm like taking notes on the performance, and I just had all these red exclamation points after it because it was so beautiful. Like his voice is clear as a bell. His pitch is awesome. Like every bit of it came together for him. And I was like, oh, you better make it. Like you better make it. And so I'm excited to hear what he does tonight.
Yes, me too. How would you describe his sound? Because, like I said, it felt a little unexpected for me. Like, for some reason, I know this is very cliche. I kind of expected more of a country or a loose. I know that's terrible. No. And even though he told me that's not what he sings, I still expected that.
I don't know. I would put him in more of like maybe like an indie folk kind of place, but he's got a real pop sound to him, but he doesn't sing pop songs.
No.
So I think that's where I'm like his tone is so clear and so precise, like a pop singer's would be.
Yeah.
But he sings like more indie kind of pensive type songs. So I'm like, I don't know where I would put him, which normally is a good thing. To me, I love it when you don't fit in an already made box and you're kind of making one for yourself. So I feel like that's what he's doing. So I don't ever know what to expect, which is kind of exciting for me. Like there are some contestants where I'm like, I know exactly what to expect from you. Like Alyssa Ray, I know what you're going to do every single time. Like no question.
Alyssa
I know what
Ray.
you'll do. Yeah.
Alyssa Ray.
Oh.
That song last night, Whitney, I almost felt like Whitney was coming through Alyssa in that moment. Like, did you not feel that?
You know what?
She didn't know who Whitney Houston was.
She didn't.
I was like, oh.
She knew I think she knew who Whitney was, but not the song, I hope.
Okay, I can't remember. I think I wrote it down, but I was like, she didn't even know.
Right. Oh. She was like, I'd never heard this song before. And I was like,
that's what you're right.
Oh,
she
no.
Never heard the song.
And I really was like, I've not heard covers of that song where I've been really excited about them. So I wasn't sure I was going to love it. But she and Catherine McPhee like blew that out of the water. And I loved it.
It was very good.
I loved it. I thought they were great. So do you have a guess on who Hunter's going to sing with tonight?
I don't know. Okay, let's check. I got my phone here. Let's see, just in case he's updated his socials, because I don't know. I don't know who they would put him with. I mean, tonight
it's different. It's different artists tonight.
It's different artists tonight. So Jason Aldean's coming up, and let's see. Oh, Tori Kelly. Could they put him with Tori Kelly?
They could put him with Tori.
Let's see.
I feel like they're going to put more. Well, no, they've got PJ Morton too, so they put the R&B people probably with PJ.
Yeah.
So maybe
he just says he's performing tonight. He's not giving us any clues. So
he's smart. He's probably following every rule he needs to follow.
Yeah. But I do like it that they let them update their social. Let's see who else is coming tonight. Do you remember who else the other judges coming tonight?
I do not. I didn't write that down.
I know. I meant to, and I'm like,
I probably should have.
But it'll be interesting because you're right. Who are they going to put him with?
I could see Tori Kelly easily because they both have really clear voices, like really kind of bell tone voices. So I could see that happening. And that would be a really interesting mix. But they
Yeah.
may, just because he's from Tennessee, put him with Jason Aldean.
I
They
know
might
that.
be like you and be like, he's supposed to be country.
Oh, I'm sorry. That wouldn't work. That's not going to be a good pairing, I don't think.
No, I hope they don't do that. But
Hopefully
we'll
they won't.
I'm so invested this season. I watch both Idol and The Voice. I get very invested, and my poor Patreon people every week, they have to hear like how much I love, but it's been so fun because I get to hear kind of their thoughts because I don't normally get to hear what the audience thinks, you know?
Yeah.
And so we actually last week fought over Cassandra
Oh,
because
really?
half of us love her and the other half, like, apparently she's the most polarizing as far as
Really?
contestants go. Like, you either really love her or you're like, mm-mm. And I was like, what is wrong with you people? Like, it
Oh,
was so interesting to kind of hear like the difference. Like, she was either on people's top list or people's no list. And I'm very confused by it because I think she's absolutely out of this world. So
I totally agree. For someone who says, didn't she say she's really never performed a lot else?
yeah.
I
So
mean,
I mean, I voted for her in every way I could last night because I knew like there were some people like who either loved her or didn't. Like, and I was like, wait, no, I need her to still be here. So I'm gonna vote like crazy. Yeah.
so I guess tonight's show's going to be pretty. I mean, they're going to have to move a little bit faster pace, right? Because at the end, we're supposed to find out the top 16. Is that right? Is that happening tonight or next week?
I think what Ryan said is it's gonna happen next week. So
Okay.
I think it's gonna be like how they've done kind of in some past seasons where basically all of the top 24 will be sitting there and we'll find out which ones are going to perform like in real time. I'm
Oh,
assuming, which is not one of my favorite ways of doing it because you're dealing with nerves of did I make it? Then you're dealing with the emotions of I made it. And then they're like, sing a song. And your
right.
voice is like, what? Like,
And
I
you're like,
can't do this.
coming up next, go to the stage. You're like, what?
That's a lot to put people through and then have them like perform for their lives. Like it's just a lot. So, but I think that's what they're doing. He said that we would find out next week who the
Okay.
top 16 were. And that also like 8 people going home, 4 people from each night. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a
Oh, I mean,
lot.
based on last night, who would you send home? I don't know. I
I
mean, I
was,
feel like Cecil Ray. Is that his name? Cecil Ray?
yep. Cecil Ray was the one that I was sure of that I would probably, based on his performance last night, I would probably
Yeah.
send home. Outside of that, I think it's going to be, and I'm not positive, but I think possibly Alana is going to go home. She sang with Brian McKnight, and I feel like when they did his song, like it was in a key that was awesome for him, and it was just too low for her voice. Like she couldn't shine really.
Yeah.
There wasn't
Yeah.
a lot she could do with it, and I think that probably is going to hurt her. And she hasn't had screen time hardly at all, so we don't really know her, so we're not connected. So I feel like maybe Alana is
Okay.
going home. Outside of that, it's possibly Andrea Vallis, even though I don't think she should. I love her. The
Yeah.
one that had the eye patch on.
Oh, yes. Yes. And Katy Perry was like, what's happening?
What happened?
But she looked good with the little, she had a little sparkle. And
She looked great. Her voice, actually, this was my favorite of her performances that I've heard her do in this entire competition. So, but I think I think it's possible that she goes home, and then outside, I cannot figure out who the 4th person is going to be.
yeah, that's hard because I feel like the rest of them were pretty great.
I mean, they were all Alanis, Cassandra, Alyssa, Wyatt, Anna Lee, Deshawn, Graham. Like, I don't, Willie Spence. so good. And Grace
Mhm.
Kinsler, like she's
Oh,
just,
Grace was the last one of the night with Joss
oh,
Stone. Yeah.
she's so good. And Joss gave her the best advice ever about like, she's like, you don't show up to your date wearing lingerie, so don't give all you got right at the beginning of your performance. Like save some. And I loved that advice. It was perfect. I actually tweeted that I wanted her to be a like a mentor for the season because I just felt like she was the one that like honestly poured in and took some time
Yeah.
and helped them shine on stage, or at least tried to get it. Like you could see her, like she did a lot, like she did the runs and the like all of that, but she was looking at them and like, I'm gonna do this to spur you on to do something. And they had choices. Like I feel like Anna Lee was like, should I or should I not? And Grace was like, here I go. So
True.
yeah.
Yes. 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 But like you said, that's such amazing pressure to be with a celebrity. I don't know. I mean, if I was up there, I don't know if I could do.
I think I might have panicked a little bit. Like if Joss Stone sang like a killer run at me, I would have been like, wow, that was awesome. And forget like, oh, should I?
Oh, I should sing back
This
now,
is on
right?
me? Yeah. Because I would think like, I don't know if I can compete with what she just did, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't want to mess it up.
Right.
So I think I would panic a bit. I mean, I know I would. I've done that like as recently as 2 years ago. So I'm like, oh, that was good. I'm not gonna try anything after that.
You're like, all right.
Good job. Good job.
Okay, so for people who don't know, how many shoes did you throw last night? Because when things are really good, you
I
like to
throw
throw.
shoes.
Yes.
I really, really do. Last night I would say there were two contestants. It was Grace at the very end.
Grace.
At the
Yes.
very end of Midnight Train to Georgia. I was
Mm,
like, all right. And then Willie Spence on the prayer.
okay.
I don't understand his voice. Like it's absolutely gorgeous. It's like being wrapped in like the softest blanket ever. So I think, but wait, I'm looking through to make sure because Cassandra's man, just
That was,
her ease
yeah.
was killer.
I
Like
felt like she was the most comfortable we've ever seen her so far.
easily. And she's dealt with the nerves and not feeling like she deserves to be there. And all of that is so normal. Like it's extremely natural to second guess yourself on something like that. Like, but I felt like she kind of was like, wait, I'm supposed to be here. And if I want to stay any longer, I at least need to pretend. I like when Ryan Tedder was like, figure it out. Like if you need to be Beyonce, like whatever you need to be to feel like this is where you're supposed to be. And I think she kind of settled into that, which I love.
Yeah. And maybe because she sang a song she had already performed, so there was a little more comfort, maybe. Or
That
it could be more
helped.
nerves. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think for me, her solo was actually my favorite part.
What was her solo song? Did I write
It
that down?
was called Find Me.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know the song, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Like I love her. I love her.
Well, let's hope Cassandra moves on. Tonight we'll watch Hunter Meds. Melinda, man, it's always great to catch up with you.
It's great to catch up with you. I love getting to see your face.
I know this has been so much fun. Maybe if you have time, you can come back if our two keep going and we can check in with you.
I would do it. I
And
would so do it.
see what you think, because tonight's going to be interesting. Hey, follow Melinda. You've got a podcast. Let's talk about that quickly before we go, because you've got
I
some
do.
amazing guests on your podcast.
I do. I have a podcast called the 3 Nice Things Podcast, and it's literally just about finding the good in just kind of a sea of bad that we're going through, basically. Yeah. So it's just about, trying to look for what is good. It's what my mom has taught me my entire life. And I've had some of some great friends. I can't believe that my great friends are so amazing at what they do. And like Bob Goff has been on, and a great lady, Christy McClellan, was just on, and Shalea, which is one of my favorite singers. And I mean, there are just so many great guests, and there are so many coming up that I love getting to talk to them and getting to hear their good news.
All right. So where can we find that?
You can find it on Spotify, like on any Apple podcast, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Just look up either my name or Three Nice Things, and it will pop right on up. Or you can go to melindadoolittle.com and everything's there for you.
All right, you guys, please go check it out. Melinda again. Oh man, it's been such a long time since I've seen you, but this is great. I enjoyed it a lot.
I know. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, you guys, go check out Watch American Idol tonight. Go vote. Go vote for Cassandra. And tonight, I think the voting will open when the show starts. You can vote for Hunter. So we got to keep our locals. Let's push them through.
We can do it.
All right. See ya. Bye, everybody.